Hey y'all, it's Trader Bubba. Welcome to Bubba's Country. Exhausted. I'm exhausted for two reasons, and I'm here to tell you why. I went camping, and we had no supplies. What did I buy? What was useful? What could I have skipped out on? I'm an idiot. I made some mistakes. I don't want you to do the same. I'm here to help you save some money and buy just the essentials and camp safely, but also camp with some extra money in your wallet. Stay tuned.
The night is falling, the stars are quiet, the games are over and I'm feeling so. I feel a little like Pontius Pilate, can't deal anymore. Picture before my eyes, it's clouded over but I see it there, a part of life I now despise. I know I no longer care, but now the night has...
Now, the important thing when you're camping is to stay hydrated. Luckily, I take care of that. And you also want some good sun protection. Luckily, I take care of that. You also want to protect your eyes. So that's all taken care of. But as you know, we just bought a new camper, and I wanted to share with you what we had to buy in order to really go camping, because we had absolutely zero supplies, and I didn't realize how much it took in order to go camping. Number one, obviously, when you're camping, you're going to need to cook, and we had nothing. I didn't even have a little hibachi grill, but the camper does come with a stove in it, but honestly, in a pop-up especially, you're not going to want to cook too much in there. We would use it to like heat up water or chili, but you didn't really actually want to use it when cooking things that, especially things with like grease that would pop up or meat, that kind of thing. We really only used it to heat water, coffee, and that sort of thing. So when it comes to cooking, you're going to need some sort of portable grill, stove. Obviously, this is a classic. The Coleman portable 2-burner stove. I mean, this thing's been around for 100 years. I grew up with this thing. They're still making them. This thing hasn't changed since your grandfather's time. Here's some things that I bought that, quite frankly, I didn't have to. Number one is going to be the hose to hook up the camper to the water. Because so far, we haven't been to a campsite where we've had water hookups. It's only been electricity. We have been camping mostly at like state-ran parks. And most of them just don't have water hookups. They provide water spouts nearby. And we've just been filling up a 6-gallon water jug and then filling up the water tank and using that. For drinking water, we have a Brita water filter. And we've just been filling that up, keeping that in the little fridge. As most of you know, the fridge that comes on your campers, especially pop-ups, aren't real refrigerators. Pretty weak. But you know what? It kept the water nice and cold, and that water is filtered, safe to drink, no problems. I will say, if you're going to hook up to any kind of city water, you're going to want a water filter. And I did buy that. It's really cheap. Now, as some of you may or may not remember from this previous video, the sad reason of why I'm getting a camper. This camper is going to be shared quite heavily with my father, who's going to be using it in northern Wisconsin. Now, his RV site that I booked for him with this camper does have full hookup. So I wanted to make sure I got everything that he's going to need. And I did kind of buy that, even though I'm not using a lot of it right now. But you're going to want a hose, a drinking water hose, the water filter, and you're going to want to attach that outside the camper before going into the camper. I also highly recommend getting these elbow joints for the camper hose connections. It puts less strain where you're hooking the hose up to the camper, and it hangs down better. It's just, even for the gray water outlet, what I would do is I put an elbow joint on there, and that way it's either collecting into a bucket. It depends where we're kind of setting up. If we're pulled into a spot that's over some real good dirt and grass, I honestly don't put anything under there, because it's really the only gray water that we create is really just when we're washing our hands a little bit inside the camper, maybe filling up the Brita water filter a little bit. We're really not creating much in the way of of gray water. And the only thing that's in there might be a little bit of soap. We don't do our dishes in the sink or anything like that. That sink is really there for two purposes: drinking water and maybe washing hands. And that's it. But I do just use a bucket to collect the gray water. I didn't buy the super expensive gray water tank, which you see here, but it is available. I just didn't see a need for it yet. I will get one for my dad, but we didn't see a need for it. But yeah, those hose connectors are great. Those elbow joints. It really just makes it easier to hook everything up too when you're doing it. And the water I feel like it just drains better, and it's draining off the elbow joint and not kind of all over the camper, which I feel like can't be good after a long period of time. So I highly recommend those, and they're very cheap. And I'm going to leave links to everything that I've purchased in the comment section down below. You'll see it'll say Amazon links on it, and that's everything I bought. And you know, go through yourself and take a look. The next thing that we got that was incredibly helpful, obviously besides the wheel chocks themselves, was the wheel leveler, and that's the one that hugs the wheel and lifts it up. Take a look at this video I shot because I found a very unique reason to use the leveler. I know it's hard to tell from the video, but my driveway is at quite a bit of an angle. I was actually worried about bottoming out when I was backing in, but we did make it work. One thing I haven't seen in other videos when it comes to campers is what to do when you're kind of parked on a hill, and how to keep it from rolling away. I gotta be honest, those little chocks, I mean, they're just like pieces of plastic. They're fine for a small incline. I mean, anything larger than my driveway, you know, which again, I know it's hard to tell from the video, but anything more inclined than that, and you're gonna start running into trouble. I feel like what I did was to utilize my leveler here. It's a lot heavier. It hugs the tire and actually lifts it just a little bit, and that will keep it from rolling away on you. So if you're on any kind of a hill, or if your driveway like mine is just a little too steep for comfort, this will take care of it for you. So as you can see, that just came incredibly handy. So I highly recommend getting one of those for sure. The next thing was a cordless drill. Almost every camper, be it pop-up or small trailer camper, comes with the leveling, well, I shouldn't say leveling, the support jacks. These are jacks that are used really just to stabilize your trailer so it's not bouncing around so much while you're walking around inside of it. And they all use that same, I think it's a 3/4 inch socket. You know, a cordless drill, man, that really speeds up the process. And I didn't want a super expensive Milwaukee brand, but I didn't necessarily want the Amazon Basics brand either. So I found a really great, reliable cordless drill. It comes with everything you need. It actually comes with more than you need. This actually kind of doubles as part of my tool set, which I'll get into in a second. So check this out. Again, the link for that is going to be in the comments down below on my Amazon link page. But this cordless drill has saved our lives a couple of times, not only for the support jacks, but also working on a part of the hitch that was the hitch lock was a little funky, and that cordless drill came in really handy. Next up is going to be a good old-fashioned tool kit. A toolkit is going to just save your life. This needs to be one of those things that you just keep in the camper. That way you're not worried about if you have tools or not. Again, I wouldn't buy the most expensive Craftsman toolkit you can find, but something that is just incredibly portable, comes in a nice kit that you can just sort of tuck away, doesn't take up a lot of space. You're going to use it. It's only a matter of time. On our camper, the hardest thing was the door. The way our door is connected, which I got to be honest, you know, this is a Viking pop-up. I think it's made by Forrest something or other. Listen, guys, you guys are idiots when it came to designing your door. The camper I grew up with, the door, when you popped it up, it just had a screen that you would attach to the top part of the door. Here, the door on the actual camper just opens, and now you got to put on this whole other door, which is hanging from a ceiling. It's freaking ridiculous. It's got these wing nuts that were loose. We had to tighten all those up. Man, that toolkit came in really handy. So get yourself a toolkit for your camper. You're going to need it. Pots and pans, you know, again, we had nothing going starting out, and we had to really find everything. But I did find this really cool set of basic pots and pans. For me, I want something that's going to work and it's durable, but it can't take up a lot of space either, because again, it's a small pop-up. I don't have a lot of storage in this thing, and I want stuff I can use and keep in the camper and not have to pack in the car every time we go camping, which for us is going to be quite a bit because we live in California. There really isn't a season for camping. We can camp really almost year round here. But this set of pots and pans that kind of fit into each other, they're like more for like backpacking and that kind of thing. Man, these things worked great. We used them on the stove, very durable, no problem, cleaned up like a pro. So I highly recommend these as well. And then for washing dishes, we also just got the 2 good old-fashioned plastic basins, you know, that you get for your dishes almost at home. It's kind of old school, and you younger people aren't going to know what I'm talking about. But back in the day, we actually used to use plastic tubs to actually wash and rinse our dishes. I just got a couple of those. They work just great. The most important thing I feel like I bought was the walkie-talkies. This isn't a huge trailer. I'm fairly capable of backing it up and parking it by myself, but in fact I have. But it is, you know, it's just so much easier when you've got someone, you know, like my wife doing the spotting, and walkie-talkies come in extremely handy. Everyone's like, well, just you have your cell phones. Honestly, where we go camping, a lot of the places the cell phones aren't going to work. The next thing is going to be the Reflectix. This is the most important thing. I think it's the second most important thing, because man, these things really work in reflecting the sun off the camper. And I have 2 forms of these. I have the blanket that has the Reflectix on one side that I would put over the bed portion of the pop-up, and that way it was reflecting the sunlight off and away from the bed that I was sleeping on, and just held with some simple clamps. It was very easy. I put it up myself, and it made a huge difference. We also got the Reflectix that you can just cut out and put into the windows of the pop-up. Whatever you're camping in, man, these things come in handy, because whether you're in a hard-sided, you know, camper trailer or pop-up like me, these things are going to just really trap that heat. And anything you can do to reflect the light off of your camper is going to help. So these Reflectix is just amazing material, very easy to work with. Again, the link for that is going to be in the comments section down below on my Amazon links. So definitely check out that. The most important thing that we bought, hands down, is going to be the mattress toppers. For those of you that know what that is, most campers, again, whether it's a pop-up or a camper trailer, when you buy them, they come with mattresses, and these mattresses just blow, especially in the pop-ups. They're very thin. They're just really there for looks. You can replace them with a full-size mattress, which at some point would do. For now, I just got memory foam mattress toppers, and they made a world of difference. I'm a big guy. I'm about 280 pounds, and I had trouble sleeping on that mattress. And these mattress toppers were a lifesaver. So I would get these probably before you order anything else. If you can't get everything, the most important things are going to be your chalks, your levelers, and anything related to the drinking water that I said, and then definitely your mattresses if you want to be able to sleep and be comfortable. So get these mattress toppers; they'll save your life. That's some of the stuff I bought. I hope this helped you a little bit. Don't go too crazy buying everything. Don't be afraid to not have everything you need when you camp. The most important thing you're going to need is food, water, and shelter. And so make sure the water is the most important thing, food, and then when you're going camping, look around too, see what's around you for restaurants, try and find out what is nearby for just stores or convenience stores. I can guarantee you, wherever you're camping, there's some kind of nearby convenience store, because there's somebody making money off the fact that there's a camping spot nearby. So don't over purchase, don't overpack, be afraid to live on the edge a little bit. It's just going to make your life easier in the long run. And it's the less you have to pack, the less you have to unpack. It's just the way it works. Just take a look at my Amazon link page and go in there. You're going to see everything you need is going to be in there, but don't buy everything. Just buy the stuff you absolutely need. Don't be afraid to build as you go. You know, keep the supplies to a minimum. You're not going to use nearly as much as you think. All right, guys, I'm Trader Bubba. As always, stay safe out there. For those of you curious about having a pop-up without a bathroom in it, I was looking for one without a bathroom because we never would ever use it, and because that extra weight would put me over the limit for my little baby Bronco. Most of the campsites almost always have some sort of restroom, unless you're really trying to boondock or something crazy. I will say the restrooms here make me wish I had a bathroom. Here at Trader Bubba, we let freedom ring, but you know what? You should answer this call to freedom by hitting the open road. And if you are at all interested in what it's like to be out on the open road, camping, living the outdoor life, watch my other video.